All right, guys, today I'm very excited to announce that we have a new pressure washer lineup coming to the US. This is AVA of Norway. I've seen them all over YouTube from, European-based detailers, and I've always been very, very excited to check them out. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the brand as a whole. We're gonna be talking about each of these units more in depth, testing the performance, talking about the warranty, which is something very, very exclusive to AVA. We have Jacob here, he's the head of US operations. I met you guys about 6 months ago. They actually reached out to me, came out, introduced me to the units. We talked about all the different specs that they wanted to do for the US specifically. So take it away, Jacob. Go ahead and talk to us really quickly about the brand. Yeah. And then go ahead and get into the warranty, because I think that's an incredible feature that no one else has. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of information in this video. We had Jacob from AVA of Norway here. He flew out, so I wanted to go into as much depth so we could really get a comprehensive look at the brand and each of these pressure washers that are behind me. So if it does start to run long for you, it is time stamped down here in the description or right here at the bottom here. So if any part is running a little bit long for you, you can't just jump ahead. Also, really quickly, I wanna let you guys know, full transparency, I am not getting paid by AVA of Norway at all. Basically, they reached out to me 6 months ago and wanted to involve me in the process of just kind of fine-tuning their specs, because there's a little bit different specs from the European market versus their US market. Just things like adding quick connects, like standard quick connects. So I was honored that they involved me in that process. Jacob and Harold are awesome guys, and I was happy to help spread the awareness of the brand on the channel. So let's go ahead and get back to the video.
AVA of Norway was founded by two brothers, Harald, one of them you met, and Morten. They have 30 years plus of experience with their father actually as well, being in the industry.
Working with different pressure washer manufacturers.
Different companies, different, basically they've accumulated that knowledge to then build their own brand that has the consumer in focus. And you'll see this everything from the accessories to the warranty to getting away from the industry norms of pressure washers. We're tired of this throwaway culture. Your pressure washer lasting one season or 1 year. That's why AVA was founded on the principles of offering a product that is made to last. We have quality in mind, and we want to prove this to our customers with our extended warranties. We offer a 10-year warranty for both of these products that include after 5 years, then you have a small repair that you can do by yourself. The warranty is not voided if you open up the machine. They're actually made to be serviced. So after 5 years, you have to pay a small fee of around $10 to get we call it the first aid kit, where on the Easy, it's 5 simple screws that you then can remove the whole unit. And on the Go, it's just as simple. Just
to clarify that, so a 10-year warranty, now after 5 years, if you don't do the tune-up, it ends at the 5 years, so you have to do that to extend it. So guys, a lot of pressure washers, now these do use universal motors, correct?
Yeah.
So a lot of pressure washers like the Ryobis and all those big box stores with the universal motor, they're typically rated at about 100 hours of use, correct?
Yeah.
So obviously that warranty is not going to, it can be, you can use them for 1 season and then you can run into issues down the road. I've had some that last a long time, some that don't. I don't know if that's just a quality control. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys offer a 10-year warranty is incredible. Yeah. So again, guys, like I said, there's some incredible design features here that I have never seen on any other pressure washer. So let's just go ahead and get into it. We're going to break down each unit one by one, the features of them, and then we'll get into the testing of the units like we normally do. All right, guys, now before we get too far into this, let's go ahead and talk about the fact that these are live on Amazon now, so you can order them there. Again, we're going to get into all the features, the warranty, all that kind of good stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about price point.
So the AVA Go is starting at $255.
Okay.
And the AVA Easy is starting at $350. So the first thing we really see in this, especially the American market, is you'll buy maybe your Ryobi or whichever pressure washer, your entry-level pressure washer, and the first thing people will want to, or consumers will want to improve is their gun.
Absolutely.
They want a short gun.
Yep.
We can't provide that in the package, but we have a solution for this, and this is your simple short gun adapter that will be also offered on Amazon. The next thing is they will want a better hose, a longer hose.
Absolutely.
Which most companies don't really provide.
Yeah, 20 feet, and they're super a nightmare to work with, right? So that's why I always recommend you guys.
Nature
For sure. Yeah. So I always recommend people upgrade their hose and their gun right away to get a stub you want, especially if you're working on your car. If you're working just around the house, having the longer lance is totally fine. But again, guys, like you said, you can't ship it with a short gun. It's U.S. standard. It's safety reasons, I guess. People are afraid, or they're afraid of people getting it too close. I don't know. But so this does not come with the units, right?
No.
This will be an extra piece that you're going to be able to buy. All right, guys. So one of the coolest features, again, this is one of the things that I've never seen from another pressure washer company, and both these guns are going to be the same for both the units. Right off the bat, there's two main points I want to touch on with this. So right off the bat, you have a nice long lance, right? But they actually have a feature where you can actually press this button. So you have to use two hands, but you press the button, twist, and then you can pull this out. So you have extra reach as needed within the gun itself. So you don't have to have...
now you're a little taller than me. I might want it just a little less.
Sure.
So you can go whatever
every notch here is a different extension point. Yeah, so super cool. And then the other thing is the trigger. Do you want to talk about that real quick? And we'll show this down the road here, but it's a really cool feature.
So if you're cleaning a big bus or cleaning something for a long time, and you're working for maybe an hour, then you get the fatigue in your hands.
Sure.
So we call this the no force gun. So the AVA no force gun. It has a built-in trigger function where once you hear the little click, then now all you need to hold is just this. And this requires 10x less force than your regular trigger. So you're able to wash for much longer than you would with your standard gun.
So basically, guys, when you pull the trigger, right, you feel that tension that you would normally feel just from the pressure of resistance, right? So you pull that back, but like you said, once you hear the click, right, this little black piece, all you have to do is hold that, and it's like, do you know what the actual pressure? It feels like nothing. Like it's very, very, very easy to keep pulled once you're in that point. So, all right, guys. So we're going to break into each individual unit. Before we do that, really quickly though, I just want to cover kind of the shared points between these two units. So the gun's the same on both. They both come with a 40-foot hose. Yeah. Now, obviously, on the AVA Go, it's you just mount it. You can just tuck it under here. On the Easy, it's mounted on a hose reel. Yeah. So incredibly easy function. And then we will get into, they're both going to come with a foam cannon, some slightly different variations to the accessories after that, right? Yeah. So we'll go ahead and jump into it, starting with, let's go with the AVA Go. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the features of the AVA Go. Again, really cool accessory kit that this thing comes with, and then we'll do this, and then we'll go into the performance numbers and everything from there.
So the AVA Go is specifically made for car washing.
Okay.
You can also use it for
around the house.
Around the house.
Sure.
It comes with the 40-foot hose, so you do have a lot of reach, especially to get around your car. Or annoying thing of having to move it around. It's
absolutely.
And it comes with the 1 liter foam cannon, as well as the Microfiber Mop, which has built-in water flow.
So again, you guys can have that attached to your pressure washer gun. You extend this out, especially for me, like with my Sprinter van. I always hate cleaning the windshield on it because, bugs and everything get up. I have to climb up there and try and agitate. With this, you really, really get nice reach. And then also the water flow that comes through that thing is incredible. So a lot of times you'll see water pass through and it's through one point. This is actually like every one of these little points is where water can come through. So as you see all that, so you get incredible coverage and water coming through that whole unit. Yeah. Again, the microfiber head can be removed as well. So if it gets dirty, toss it, and you can wash it and get it all good to go again. So really, really cool feature there. 40-foot hose, I absolutely love. Yeah. And we did talk about it, but it is a nice flexible hose, guys. Yeah. So as you can see, the movement is really good. Yeah. Kinking, again, it's very similar. It rolls over on itself, but there's no memory to it. There's no kink in the line. Yeah, exactly. So really, really cool there. There's one thing I want to make note of on this is the connection points are this way. And this is something in the past that I've been hesitant on. Yeah. full transparency. They've changed my mind on it just from the build quality of all the other components of it. This was something like we did talk about in the European market. They have a different connection point, right?
Exactly.
For all the accessories, it's not just a standard quick connect. And this they didn't want to budge on because the quality is so good. You do get, you want to show them the swivel feature of that?
I mean, a big thing is what we don't like is having to screw on.
Yeah.
And then also, if you want a swivel, then that needs to be, if you don't buy an extra gun, then it needs to be an extra accessory or an attachment. Where first this is just a simple click. You're on and you're plug and play. And then already you can see the swivel is there. And to get this off is just simple as that.
Release,
It's.
Is there any, once there's pressure going through it, does that swivel tighten up a little bit?
So just like the normal swivels, with pressure it will tighten up. Release the trigger, pull out, then the hose will untangle itself.
Gotcha.
Just like the other swivels in the market. And then just the ease of storage and ease of connection and our I mean, we love this hose. So that's.
Yeah, it's called the AVA Flexi Hose.
Yeah.
What's this rated to? Do you know as far as PSI? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're using it with this unit, it's going to be good to go, but it says 150 bars. Onboard storage of this thing is fantastic. Like I said, the hose can just tuck into here. The extension cord or the power cord can tuck away into this. So this is a nice long cord though.
35 feet.
35 feet, yeah, perfect. So, and the gauge of the cord in the US spec is a little bit thicker, so you will have a little bit of layover, but it's a perfect option to be able to store your cord away. And then again, for your pressure washer for the gun attachment, right, it just sits right in the side here, and then you have all your nozzles over here as well. So the next two features we want to talk about are the foam cannon, and then also, guys, because of this connection point, right, it's not the easiest thing to replace your gun, right, because it's normal quick connect, but they've thought about that as well, and they have an aftermarket piece that you can get. Do you want to go ahead and show them? So this is, again, this isn't included in the kit. This will be an additional piece. Do we have any idea on pricing yet on that?
So just like the repair kit, our goal is not to make money off this.
Gotcha.
We want to offer it to the customers as to the greatest price possible.
Sure.
Also because we love the short gun, and we want to give the U.S. customers that.
Sure, absolutely.
And also because of this system, it'll be harder for them to use a different gun.
Right. Right. There are adapters you can get on, but if you don't have to, then all the better.
And we actually don't like to call this an adapter.
Sure.
The word adapter in our mind is not a.
It's an afterthought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The goal is not to call this an adapter, but to increase the functions or to increase the amount of functions you have with the machine. Where first it's just a simple twist in, and then you can then lock it in place there.
And you can't, correct me if I'm wrong, you can use that without tightening that down, right? It's still good to go. It's
so everything is good. It's just an extra
safety precaution.
Especially for the zoom lens. When you have a longer, for the short, it's not a huge issue. There's no wiggle either way.
Right.
But it's great for the zoom lens to get that extra stability.
Sure.
Now with this, you have your short gun with the no force trigger.
Yep.
You have the swivel. And then obviously you can use all your accessories with the short gun.
Yep.
And even just this, it's to get in close for some. If you're cleaning your boat or something, the side of your boat, or
under the hull or whatever else. Yeah, definitely. And guys, and also the build quality on this thing, as you can see, stainless steel components for the quick connects. You want to talk about the internals of this thing? So but outside of the housing, all the internals.
Again, the plastic is not something maybe in the U.S. that we I don't know if we should go into that yet, but either way, it's all metal internals.
So guys, what he was alluding to with the plastic, I don't know if I want to get into that yet, is basically they have, so in the European market, they have a quick connect for the garden hose that is pretty standard. We don't typically have them as standard here, but that piece was plastic, and right away I asked Harold, who is, again, one of the original founders of the brand, I said, is this, it's plastic, is that, we're used to seeing either brass or stainless steel, and he said, No, it's incredibly stout.
Yeah.
He goes, go hit it with a hammer, and I did. So let me go grab the piece real quick, and I'll even show you guys me hitting this thing with a hammer. So guys, this is the piece here. Now, these aren't going to ship with this. This is just to show the quality, and again, why my expectations changed a little bit on some of the components because of this thing. So this is the piece that we get for the U.S. There's a standard garden connection hose. In the European market, they also get this, and you can quick connect onto this, right?
Yeah.
So this is the piece that I whacked with a hammer. Let's do that real quick just for fun. So hang on. All right, guys. So here's the piece, right? I have a standard hammer, and my initial thought was, you know, it's plastic, right? It's gonna crack or whatever. So I'm gonna whack this thing hard. Last time I did this, it flung across the room. But here we go. Should I hold on to it? You think? Does that work?
You can. Up to you, but just watch your fingers.
All right, here we go. All right, so I whacked that thing as hard as I could. There may be a scuff on it. Yes, right here. Slight little scuff, but it ricocheted and I'm bleeding.
Oh no.
So I mean, that shows the force of how hard I hit this thing, and it's completely fine. So again, same thing with the hose connection point. In my head, I was like, I don't know. Same thing with this. And when they told me hit it with a hammer, it completely changed my mind. Very, very stout quality products that I was blown away by. So there you go. All right, guys, so I got a Band-Aid on now. But again, the scuff is so minor on this thing. It's just like, I mean, you could see, I'll try and get a close-up of it for you guys, but it's like, it's barely anything, if this will focus. And it won't. I'll grab another shot of it, but it's barely anything. Just like you can't tell that's the point where it hit. But
and
incredible.
If you guys really want this, or if you guys want this, we will make it available.
Okay, gotcha.
Just because this is now we'll make it available.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. I mean, and again, it's one of those things. It's a nice quick connect to have. It's really cool. And again, there's a little inline filter in it, so it's just a nice feature to have. Let's go ahead and talk about the foam cannon now.
Yeah.
So really cool feature is, again, I think in the European market, you can sell these separately as well. Are we offering that here yet or no?
So for what's included with the package, you do get one beaker, this one 1 liter beaker. In the future, we will obviously add more and more of our accessories that we have, where you can get the extra beaker.
Yeah, of course, cool. And then it's really cool. Measurement guide here.
Yep.
So it actually says
sides,
1 to 9, 1 to 4, 3 to 7, 2, and then it shows 10%, 20%, 30%. So really nice. Also, the amount of rubber gasket that you have inside here, guys, it's around the entire rim. So once you screw that down, it sits on there and seals up really, really nicely. Also a nice flexible silicone straw. No weighted option on the end. But again, it's a great length where it kind of stays down there anyway. And it's fantastic.
And then if you have, like, for example, the ones that you have around your shop here, it's double threaded. So you have your normal thread here for this.
Oh, that's right.
But we also have, so you have your standard thread around here that will fit to your 1 liter foam can bottle, detergent bottle. And then you also have a inner thread here that fits your standard soap container. If you have like, for example, algae remover or something that you want to just directly connect to your to the head, then you can also do that. Measurements on a lot of the times, if you're pouring in your favorite soap for your foam can, and then measuring up in here.
Another feature. Yeah, this is super cool. Go ahead. Yeah, so go ahead.
We've made internal.
So all these little pieces are raised up, and let me try and zoom in so you can see 2.5, 5, 7.5, and then 10 is the top.
Yeah.
And now that says CL. What is that? That's
centiliters.
Okay, gotcha. So again, conversion-wise, that's just something you'll get used to, guys. With your soap, you'll know exactly where you need to go there. But I'll also put the conversion up top.
So when you're pouring, it's just a simple. You can always see. Okay, I know. So to get that consistent foam, instead of just squeezing into 2 squeezes,
Correct.
Then you can. Okay, I can see every time I'm going up to 5 centiliters.
Because otherwise you're doing this, and you're like, is that? But then if you're tilted a little bit, it's not showing.
That's the issue.
Yeah, very cool.
And then you have obviously your suction rate here.
Yep.
And you can go through these suction rates. I usually leave mine at max.
Yeah, same, yeah.
But all of them have little ticks, so
It's a nice tactile feel. Yeah, exactly. It's not just going, yeah.
And also for here, you have the same, where it'll be left at your favorite position instead of having to find it every time.
Yep. Yeah, can I feel that? So the force behind that, because that is, I mean, it's not hard to turn.
No.
But it's hard enough where it's not going to just
change.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And then let's see here. One other feature that I want to talk about this thing. Again, I think it's really, it's cool. Oh, does it turn from horizontal to vertical?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And guys, that's a nice feature to have, but it's something that I personally don't use that often. It's, I guess maybe because I'm taller. I don't know, but I rarely use it, so no issue there at all for me. And again, I think this will probably fit into a standard
cup holder.
Yeah, exactly. So for all you guys that have the bottle holders and things like that, so the liter size, this should be able to sit in there for you. So
again, built with plastic that is super sturdy.
Yeah.
So you drop this, throw this. I know we have a guy in the UK did a test with it from on the top of I don't know how many feet, but around 3 meter.
Drop it
and dropping it full of liquid.
Yeah.
10 times. He did it. He started going crazy with and you'll see it.
Really testing the durability of it.
It's
cool.
super durable.
Very nice. And again, just a little design feature. It's stuff that's really cool. So you have the grip here, but that's consistent throughout the whole machine, right?
Yeah,
You see
our
that?
honeycomb.
Yep. Yeah. And then even here too, it's just nice so you can actually grip it, especially when you're dealing with soaps and waters. Things can get a little slippery, so super nice. The nozzles that this comes with, another awesome feature that no one else does. So you want to go ahead and touch on that? We do not get a 0 degree nozzle because honestly, who uses a 0 degree nozzle? You do get the turbo nozzle, which is essentially a 0 degree that just kind of oscillates, right? So you do get that. And then you want to go into the other ones?
So you have your 0 degree on steroids,
With that.
or what do you call it?
Exactly,
It's and then if you hear this is normal. It's supposed to there's this little steel ball in there creating that turbo. And then you have your 15 and 25 that have just a little bit smaller orifice.
So you get a little more pressure around the house, whatever you need.
For the little tougher stains. And then you have your 40 and 60, which we call the 2 car washing nozzles. These have a little lower pressure with higher flow. To get rid of that soap or just clean more efficiently.
So these two will have the exact same PSI and GPM, and then those two will have a separate one. But again, guys, really, really cool feature that, again, you don't see a 60 degree angled nozzle, which I really, really like. So very, very cool. Again, the connection point on the machine for the hose, super simple. You can just press it in, right? And it holds in there.
Yeah, this is the same where, so we see a lot of people wanting to click and then put in. There's no need. Just simple put in.
Push it in. You don't have to compress this.
You don't have to. And then when you're done, just that simple.
Very nice. And the side swivels as well.
Both sides swivel.
So guys, that's the unit. And again, you have all these rubber inserts all across it. So everything, and again, just the design of this thing looks fantastic. These match the hose, match all the accessories. Everything looks super good. These are nice rubberized so that when you put in your nozzles, they're not coming out, right? They hold in there nice and secure. And then let's go ahead and talk about some of the performance features of this thing now. It's rated for a 15 amp breaker, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as performance goes, on the listing, so guys, these are going to be available right on Amazon. So the link will be down in the description. And just so you guys know, we don't have any deal. Like, I'm not getting paid from them at all. If you buy something on Amazon, I have Amazon affiliate links, so I make a commission that way. But there's no deal here. This is just, they reached out to me. I love pressure washers. So I want, I was very excited about the opportunity to work with them on this. Performance-wise, PSI that's listed on the website and on the Amazon listing.
So we have it's a max PSI of 1800, which with a max flow of 2.0 gallons per minute. This is with your low pressure, like for example the Microfiber Mop.
Sure. Or if you just leave the nozzle off, it'll give you.
But you're looking at a working pressure, which in our eyes is perfect for car washing.
Yep.
Right around the 1100 psi.
Perfect, yeah.
A little over that depending on what nozzles you use, and
Sure.
then around the 1.65 gallons per minute.
Perfect. So this is going to be, like, honestly, guys, this is going to be a great option for the DIYer at home, the consumer that's, even the prosumer, right, that's wanting a pressure washer with an insane warranty. And then again, you get like a full car wash kit here. You're getting a 40-foot hose. You don't have to worry about upgrading your hose. You get this extension lance, which is awesome. You get the foam cannon, and then you get the little mop head as well. And then if you do want the short gun, again, can't ship with it because of US standards, but this is an aftermarket piece that you can get to upgrade it and have that short wand experience. So, all right, guys, so we've got the whole unit set up. We have water going into the unit. I've already purged it, so you can see it pull the trigger, water's coming through nice and easy. When we go ahead and turn the unit on, sounds exactly like a universal motor does. However, I will note no squeak once the pressure builds, no squeak at all, so good to go. Now, because the connection point on the hose isn't my standard quick connect that I've always test with, I did put together this. So this is now, we're able to, got some water in it, but now I'm able to stick this right into the actual nozzle, and we'll be able to test our PSI range right there. So again, the 15 and the 25 are one size orifice, and then the 40 and the 60 are another. I'll put a chart up of what they actually are. They're not far off from each other. Again, they state that the rated PSI is coming in at 1100. So let's go ahead and test that. So again, this is with the 15-degree nozzle. And we are spot on, actually maybe slightly above 1100, at least with this meter, right? Slightly above 1100. And again, guys, this easy hold, what do you call it again?
No force?
No force. So the no force is incredible. So you get it on, and then this is just like so easy to hold. It's very, very nice. So now let's go ahead and check the other orifice nozzle. So now we're going to go ahead and go over to the 60-degree nozzle. Just going to stick it in. And just to show the angle of the nozzle, look how wide that is. Nice consistent pressure all the way through that fan as well. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and check the PSI on this one. And again, with the other one, we were just a smidge over 1100. This one, I'd say exactly on 1100. So the rated performance so far, very, very accurate. Let's go ahead and test the GPM now. I guess we'll just start with the 60 degree. Again, you're gonna get the same PSI, same GPM with the 60 and the 40 because of the same exact size orifice. So what I'm gonna do is get all these out of here. And then we'll, again, like always, we'll just run it for a minute into the bucket and we'll weigh it out and see where we're at. All right, guys, so he's got the timer on his watch. We're gonna go ahead and start this. All right, you ready? I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then go, and we'll go. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. Cool, so we will go ahead and, I forgot to take a weight reading of the bucket, so we'll do that after with the total weight and we'll subtract it. But just so you, where's my phone? All right, but guys, just so you can see on the markings on this thing, we're at over 6 3/4 quarts. So phenomenal water flow already. Usually like with the Ryobis and stuff, we're in the maybe 5 quarts, something like that, 5.5. So this is a substantial amount. We're gonna go, yeah, pretty accurate to 6 3/4 quarts, but we're just gonna go ahead and weigh this to make sure. All right, guys, so subtracting the weight of the bucket from what we actually got, did the calculation, and we're not 1.65, huh? Or 1.64345. Over time, you start to get a little bit more flow. So again, 1.64345, you round that up, we're spot on. Again, 1100, actually slightly a little bit more than 1100 with the other nozzles. So completely accurate. Let's go ahead and test the GPM real quick with the smaller, the 15 degree and 25 degree, or I'm just gonna do the one because they get the same, and then we'll move on to the other unit. All right, I'm actually gonna use the 25 just because it's a wider, so I get less blowback on this, but let's go ahead and run this again. You got the stopwatch ready again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do that.
Right. On go, right?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go. Perfect. Cool, so there's 1 minute with the other nozzles that have the smaller orifice in them.
Get every drop there.
Yeah, I know. Let's get that. Again, the PSI wasn't much of a change. It was a slightly different. So I'm not expecting a crazy amount here, but.
No.
All right, guys, so on the last nozzle, we got 14 pounds, 11.7 ounces. On this one, right, very slight difference in GPM and very slight difference in PSI, and we were registering at 14 pounds, 7.8 ounces. So barely any change, not much, but let's go ahead and check that. All right, guys, so after deducting the weight of the bucket, we are at 1.61 GPM with those nozzles. Again, slightly above 1100 PSI with that one. But again, when you're using a narrower fan, you do feel a lot more pressure. Kind of similar to the power nozzles, turbo nozzles, because they're a stream and then oscillating and creating that circular motion. But that stream is what creates all that cleaning power. So now let's go ahead and use the foam cannon on this guy and test that to see what kind of foam production it gets. Again, with those numbers, I'm expecting it to be pretty good. Again, the orifice is built out for this one specifically on the go, and then specifically for the Easy. They're two separate orifice sizes, so let's go ahead and test this. All right, guys, so for the foam cannon test, we're gonna be using Kochemi Active Foam. So we're just gonna go with 5 to the 5 centiliter mark. So we'll show you down and below so we can show you where you fill it up to. So just gonna kind of pour it onto the side. So there, and then right up to the, right there. All right, guys, so we put in just to the 5 mark on the bottle, fill the rest up with water. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this guy on. Cool. Set this to max.
Yeah, 9.
There we go. Cool. Let's go ahead and test it. Here we go. Got the foam cannon all ready. Here we go. I mean, that's a great amount of foam. Let's try and stack it up. I mean, that's a pretty good amount of foam. That is nice and thick. Not overly dry, but really thick. So it's sticking on the panel well. It's going to sheet all the product, all the contamination off. Active foam, again, is a 9 on the pH, I believe, 9 or 9.5. So it gives you a little more cleaning ability. That's why I like a foam cannon that can create a thick enough foam that sticks onto the surface, because now it's going to give it more dwell time on the contamination to break it all down. So great foam. All right, guys, so since we went ahead and did the little test on that, he mentioned that in another video, they dropped this thing from a good height. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna fill it up the rest of the way. But I wanna note too, the draw of the solution, it didn't draw a ton out right away. It got really good foam, but I still have a ton left. So that's fantastic as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this up. I'll climb up on a ladder and I'll drop it and see, see how it goes. And I'm just gonna climb, this is the only ladder I have with me, so I'm gonna climb it. I'm just gonna go to this step.
Yeah, no more accident.
Okay, and then I'm gonna drop it from here. Pretty. All good. Slight little scuff there. That's it. No issues anywhere else. Pretty good. So I will. I have a larger ladder at home. I'll test this again at a higher, from a higher point. But like, I mean, no one's dropping it from anything higher than that already. So again, they're plastic. I don't know what the difference is here, but it's very durable. Okay, so the foam cannon withheld the drop. I don't know, I'm 6 feet tall. That was at least 10 feet, right? Because I was up here. So at least 10 feet, good to go. One thing to note, Jacob just pointed this out. So everyone always wonders, oh, is it supposed to leak if it goes upside down, right? So it's leaking from this one side here. And he just explained to me why, and it makes a lot of sense. So you want to touch on that really quick?
Well, in order for us to create that nice foam, we need to supplement the soap, the water, with air. And this is our aeration hole, or where the air enters in order to create that foam. So you'll see all the foam cannons will have a little leak if they are held upside down because of that aeration hole.
Sure. That makes a ton of sense. So I never store mine, or I mean that one actually does have solution in it, but I typically never store mine with solution in it anyway. These ones, you guys actually, again, not currently here for us.
We'll see how quickly it'll come, but the goal is obviously to bring the full line here.
And that basically you just have a cap for these.
Exactly.
So you can leave your solution in there and then just bring the head of the unit and swap in between. Exactly. So especially like for you guys that like using a pre-foam, a higher alkaline, higher pH foam, or a lower one, like an acidic one, foam the car down, then just take this off, switch it over to your normal pH balanced soap just for your contact wash. Makes it super simple.
Without having to rinse out the...
Exactly. You just go straight to a new container and you're good to go. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and foam it back on again and then show you the ability on how you can use the little microfiber mop. Now, obviously this, you'll wanna make sure that that's not touching the paint. There's a little, little tie down piece there, and you can actually tuck that right behind. You just tuck it into the sleeve, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to scratch anything. You don't have to worry about any damage to your vehicle. All tucked away and good to go. I'm going to start off foaming it on again with the short lance, and then we're going to use the long extension for the mop. So guys, in order to swap this out, right, we just back off the collar, okay, and then just push and release. So that comes out. We can go over to the extension here. Same thing, just in reverse now, right? Put that in. Twist it, it's good to go. Tighten the collar back down over it, right? And then we have the ability to push the button, twist, and extend this thing out as much as we need. So we're going to go ahead and attach the mop. Good to go. And then let's show how well all the water comes out of this thing. So you can see it's not just from one point. Maybe I'll take this off in a second, but let's go ahead and do this first. So as you can see, I have the water flow coming through here, so adding more lubrication and everything as I'm going and agitating everything. So it's really good, and I can reach across the whole entire windshield as I'm doing it. Okay, so again, a lot of times when you're using wash mitts, you want to continually rinse them. Because this has the water flow all the way through the head, you could potentially just do this, let it rinse out, right? And then you'd be safer by continually just going across the rest of the car. Let me go ahead and take this sleeve off so you guys can see exactly all the points where it does come out, because we talked about that, but it's good to see it. When you have it normal, upside down, it's coming out of everything, right? So it's a full shower head type of a system versus just one access point of flow. Yeah, fantastic. Let's go ahead and move on to the next unit, the AVA Easy. All right, so next up we have the AVA Easy. Now, the handle is up. This actually does fold away. So it's just a little button on the side, folds back, easy storage. Again, it comes with wheels, and it's just a pretty flat plastic wheel. It's not a lot of texture to it, so it is just, okay. Performance numbers on this. Let's go over that again really quickly, because we did just talk about the other one being rated at 1800 PSI. And that is, a lot of people will ask, why do they rate it at 1800 PSI if the working pressure is 1100? And that's a standard thing across the board. Everyone does it that way. It's the max pressure rating. So it's essentially when you pull the trigger, it's that initial release.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. And then same thing with the GPM. It's the max that the unit can produce. What I appreciate about AVA is that they are telling you right on the listing and everything else that what the actual usable numbers are, and they also ship the. I mean, if you wanted to get higher PSI, you could probably manipulate some stuff with you going to a smaller orifice, but that may spike your amperage too high, right?
It's built. What we give you is the optimal orifice. So once you start changing the orifice, then you're risking overworking the machine, or that's the beauty of a universal motor. That's why we use that. If changing the orifice, you're able to change the flow rate and change the PSI. Where when you review the induction motors or the brushless motors,
you manipulate it.
They have a set RPM, and once you start fluctuating, they completely
significantly. So, okay, perfect. That makes sense. Let's go ahead and go over the other features of this thing. Performance on this one, PSI max rating is?
The max rating is 2050 PSI with a max flow rate of 1.85 gallons per minute. Where the working pressure is around 1400 PSI, 1350, 1400.
Okay.
And the flow rate is 1.45.
Cool, perfect. And again, guys, since these are going to be available on Amazon, I want you guys to know there's tons and tons and tons of brands on Amazon that will list it's an electric pressure washer, and I've seen 3700 PSI, and some crazy numbers. I reviewed some of them a long time ago, and they don't get those numbers. It's like, can you get that? Not off of a 15 amp. There's no way.
No. It's not even that. if you just look from an engineering perspective, it's not possible to get that much pressure and that much flow out of an electric pressure washer.
Gotcha.
Especially if you look at the US 110 volt.
Right.
Compared to the Europe
the 220s.
220, where it's not possible. We want to prove that you'll love the machine. So once you receive it, I'm sure it's if you want to compare the working pressure, you'll see the real numbers.
And straight off the bat, like the build quality, because I have reviewed some of those other ones in the past, there's, purely Amazon listed ones, and the build quality is not even. I mean, there's zero comparison. Like these things are beautiful, and again, that plastic that busted my knuckle open. It's pretty good. Cool. So let's go ahead and go into the features of this one.
But again, this comes with a 40-foot hose. You should almost show or try the hose reel, because a lot of the competitors or other pressure washers in the market shy away from hose reels just because of the irritating nature of it, or that when you're trying to reel it in, the hose isn't going in. It's,
especially if they're using this is a great hose. So if they're using something subpar,
then it's very hard to reel.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is, and it's one-handed, easy reel. You have your foam cannon up here with a simple storage on there. You have your 4 nozzles here, which this also comes with the 15, the 25, the 40, and the 60.
Yep.
But
this one, it's the same orifice across the board.
Across the board.
Yep.
As well as of course, the turbo nozzle, which is the best cleaning tool for hard stains.
Yeah, for sure.
Would not use this on your car for both models.
Yeah, I personally don't. I've seen guys use them on wheels. I still personally don't do that. But I don't recommend it, but people do it.
And then
not on the paint, for sure.
And then it comes with our patio cleaner, or your surface cleaner, I believe you call it here, which has the spinning rotation, and again, built with the plastic. And this is built to last. Like this is what, as our slogan, made to last. This will not break if you're surface cleaning around some surface that has a little pebbles or stones or something. Not a problem.
So if something gets ricocheted in there, it's bouncing around. It's solid.
I mean, take it out, but it's not an issue.
And then you have a little, so like outside of the brush here that kind of keeps everything contained, there's a little scrubbing option up there as well on the tip. So super cool.
And then this is where the zoom lens really comes in. If you're surface cleaning a whole driveway, and I don't know if now I'm in a normal working position, my back would be bent over like this.
Sure.
But then if I then I just extend the zoom lens, and now I'm surface cleaning upright.
Yep.
I'm not only that, but also the angle at which you're pushing the patio cleaner is a much easier angle. Where
I was going to mention that because some the more industrial grade ones that I've used in the past, they give you the extensions, and one of them has an angle to it, and it kept wanting to kind of spin opposite for me, and which is a bit of a pain. But I get the functionality of it, but I love the fact that you don't have to mess with that.
No, exactly, and you can also with if you want to grab the short gun.
Oh, sorry,
I know.
So same feature here, guys. It clips. It's just a quick turn, and then you can tighten down the collar on it as well.
And with the increased function, like it's not just to wash around the car or to wash the car. You have the accessories now. You can.
Yep.
Then we have a small handle here where you can, if you're doing the side of
siding
wall
of your house
or something, then you have the ability to use your accessories with the short gun.
That's cool. I didn't realize that handle was there for that. That's,
exactly.
Cool. Okay. Very nice. And then outside of that, the orifice on the foam cannon, slightly different on this one. We did touch on that. Everything else, the functionality of all the rest of it is the same. The power cord, 35 feet as well.
35 feet as well.
Cool.
And comes with the storage.
Yeah, so it just mounts nicely on the back there. And so another thing to mention, guys, is with the hose reel. With a lot of the other ones that I've seen, especially in this price category, they don't function the best. Again, this one's super smooth, but it's also usable. Sometimes it'll have it, and it's literally just for storage. You would still have to reconnect it. This one's ready to roll.
It's ready to roll.
Always just unreal all the way though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just to help the longevity of the hose. But yeah, as you guys can see, that pulls out so smooth, so nicely, and then this just kind of goes right back in, super nice. So cool.
And it lays flat.
And it lays flat.
To go back on the first things that you want to improve, it's the hose, the gun,
Absolutely.
the foam cannon.
Yep.
And one of the worst things about pressure washing is that.
Yes.
If you're walking around,
agreed.
Tangling yourself up,
it's the worst. It's so annoying, especially you give you 20 feet and then that 20 feet's all coiled up. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So again, we talked about the foam cannon as well, and I'll do that test as well. So they tested it full and dropped it.
Go for it.
So really, really cool. There's some other brands that, again, sometimes they'll include a foam cannon, but it's not. It's a foam blaster, right? They're not. Yeah, they're not great at all. So really cool feature here. Anything else? Basic toggle on/off switch right here on the side, and then again, your water connection inlet is right on the back here, and it does have a filter on it as well. So. All right, guys, so next up is the AVA Easy. Just really quickly, you just showed me a couple of different mounting points. So as you can see, the wad's actually stored differently than it was before. Before it was going across the top. So there actually is this position here as well, where you can pull this out and lift it out. Exactly. So super cool there. And then if you want to, you can also, let me back this off. You could store it exclusively with the wand down here, like that. Keep this up here, whatever. There's a lot of different mounting options, which is cool. So the functionality is there regardless of how you're using it. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing primed. Again, when using any hose, I always prefer winding it all the way completely out. You don't want to, just because otherwise it can create pressure points. So I'm just gonna wind this out. You can see it comes out super easy. And the length, again guys, the length of the hose is fantastic. I've always used a 50-foot hose in the past. These are 40. 40 is perfect. It's just I don't use a 40 typically on the aftermarket side because they don't make them in 40. So, but this is fantastic. Actually, a lot of people, the hose I always recommend in the past for like if you're upgrading from a Ryobi, I always talk about the Uberflex hose, and they make a 30 or 35 foot variant. And people always tell me that that's their preferred size. They like that one because 50 can be a little bit long. So 40 is fantastic. Yeah. Let's go ahead and, again, we're going to go over to, again, the aftermarket piece. This will be available as well, but it doesn't ship with the unit. But just for my testing purposes, it makes it easier. Yeah. Tighten this down. And I have to find my bucket. With this machine, guys, because all the orifice sizes are the same across the board, I only have to test one. So I'm going to go with, again, I'm going to go with the 60, purely because when you spring it into a bucket, the wider it is, the less bounce back you get. So. Okay. So we are coming in about 6 1/4 quarts is what it looks like on here. So again, we're going to go ahead and leave the bucket lid on there. We're going to weigh this out. All right, guys, so I just went ahead and did the calculation for this one. And again, it's rated at 1.45. Once again, we're not getting 1.55. We're getting 1.5. Even more. So very, very good. Again, this one will be same orifice. So same across the board. We do still need to test the PSI. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. And this one we're expecting, what are we expecting?
1350.
Okay. We're at 1300 PSI. So 1300 PSI, 1.5 GPM out of this unit, which is phenomenal. Again, if you feel the nozzle, it feels like great amount of power and consistent all the way across the whole fan. So perfect. Let's go ahead and test. Now, again, the orifice size on the foam cannon for this unit is different than on the other one. So let's go ahead and test that really quickly. And again, the differentiating factor here, you do have the red dot, so that's how we know that's for this unit. So again, great foamer. It's going to let it stack up. So again, guys, an absolute ton of foam. So for a factory foam cannon that comes with a unit, this one's phenomenal. We're getting great foam. You saw the drop test, which is incredible. Yeah, really good. Now, one thing people may note is that the base is narrower than the top, meaning that, you know, as far as it toppling over. because like the MTMs, the MJJCs all have a wider base on the bottom. With this one, though, it's still a nice wide base. And again, if it does topple over, you saw the drop test. I don't have any concern with anything happening to it. So good to go there. All right, guys, so I switched over to the zoom lance. I now have the surface cleaner on here as well. I'm just gonna show you the rotation of it as you spray. So really cool there. Again, that's just a normal function of a surface cleaner. And just so you guys can see, there's pressure built up here now, and the swivel still functions just fine. Yeah. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and clean this spot. My shop area, the concrete's not in bad shape, so I don't know if we're gonna get any visible difference here, but they do have some footage from using this on some others, so I'll see if they can send that to me so you guys can see that. But let's go ahead and test it here. You can turn it on, and it's super easy to use. And it is, I mean, I'm shocked, actually. You can see a substantial difference. This area's all clean. I didn't even think that was that dirty. I thought it was just kind of moisture out. So let's go ahead and do that secondary pass here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that strip where I hit is substantially better than the other sides. So very cool. Now, again, because this piece is plastic, we want to show the functionality and how durable this is as well. So let's go ahead and let this thing spin on a curb so it's actually hitting it and see how it goes. All right, guys, so I'm going to place this on here so that it's actually, right, that curb will be in its in the way. So here we go. Still functioning perfectly. So I see little chips of the material, like color, but there, that's where it hit. So you can see, yes, it did show some wear, but it functions perfectly. I mean, you guys heard that. It was hitting really, really hard on that. So again, I don't know there's so many items that are plastic that don't last, and that's not the case from what I'm seeing with all of their accessories. Again, hitting the thing with the hammer, the foam cannon, dropping it from way up high, no issue. And then same thing with this, letting it run on that. So again, if you're simulating, the simulation of this was the whole purpose of, like, if you get a pebble in there and it's bouncing around, that's gonna do way less damage than what that would do, and this took it with no issue. All right, guys, and just to show the functionality of the hose reel and how easy it is to use, just hold up here. This actually does spin with it as well, so it makes it super easy. There you go, all set. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's all the tests. Very, very accurate and impressive numbers. I'm very happy with them. Again, the hose that it comes with is fantastic. Not a big jumbled mess like other ones. 40 feet long, all the accessories. Again, remember, guys, we were using this a lot. Remember, this is a piece that you can add on to your order. These will be available on Amazon as well. And yeah, I'm happily, surprisingly impressed with the quality of these things. Actually, surprisingly, not really, because when they came out 6 months ago, that took my surprise then. Now this is kind of what I was expecting, but fantastic units. So yeah, definitely check the link in the description, guys, to be able to get these directly on Amazon. You can order it right there. Again, 5-year warranty. It's a full 10-year warranty. At the 5-year mark, you do have to do that little first aid kit. That extends it another 5 years. Again, Amazon is easy to deal with any returns right off the bat. Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. No one else is offering anything like that. Again, this is a consumer-facing unit, right? This isn't the full commercial-grade unit. They do have those. They're not available to us yet. Hopefully, as the brand grows within the U.S., we'll get access to those as well. All the new accessories as well that we kind of talked about and hinted on. Also, again, they showed me a bucket that they make. Is that something in the future, possibly?
If you guys want it, we'll bring it.
The bucket is absolutely awesome. It has a little grit saver, so all the particulates fall below it. But then you can, for storage, you can flip that up, and it's a bottle holder.
Exactly.
So you can put bottles. It's really awesome, and then they're stackable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really cool bucket system. So hopefully. I'll put up a picture of it. Again, we don't have access to them yet in the U.S., but if you guys want that, that's something, if there's enough demand, that we can do that. Definitely. So Awesome, Jacob.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out, man. It's great seeing you again.
Yeah,
I'm very,
likewise.
very excited for this. Yeah, thank you so much. These are great work. Again, the difference, we touched on that before, the US items versus the European items. And basically, it was just the connection points for the US market. We went to a standard quick connect.
Yeah.
That's the main difference here. So, very cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Please make sure to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Go order one of these things. And we'll see you guys on the next video.